Welcome to the Lindsay and Tony podcast, where we talk about spirituality, business, and life experiences.
In this podcast, we're bringing our private conversations to you.
We believe that it's through discussion, action, and reflection that true change occurs.
Hi everybody, welcome to episode 67, our experiences connecting with Wayne Dyer, Nipsey Hussle, Mother Mary, and more. In this episode, we're going to be sharing our real life experiences, connecting in with these people, and how it applies to your life, and how you can start to open yourself up to where you can allow these experiences to flow into your life. I hope everybody enjoys the show.
Hi guys, welcome back. We're so excited that you're here. Today's episode is all about our experiences with connecting with Wayne Dyer, Nipsey Hussle, Mother Mary, and a lot more. And some people would call these people legends if they were here, right? But there's been some interesting experiences that we've had, and actually Tony thought of the idea of this topic, and at first I was thinking, how are we going to describe this? But we can do it.
Right, and I just wanted to share our experiences with people because I used to put like celebrities and people like that on pedestals, and the thought of like connecting with Mother Mary was totally out there for me before I was open to this kind of stuff.
Right, and I think that's important for other people to realize, is that these people lived and walked on earth before, so just like you and I. And I think this is a topic that actually came up when I first started mediumship, where there was a conversation or a debate around, can you really connect with people that you've never met in your life? And a lot of people said, why wouldn't you be able to connect with them? And other people said, of course you can't connect with them. If you don't have a link, a love link in between, then why could you? But I've had personal experiences where I've never met the person and they've come through. And Wayne Dyer, we both met, actually.
Right, we met him in person.
Right.
But Nipsey Hussle, on the other hand, which is somebody that came unexpectedly into my life about a month and a half ago, really about 1 week after he passed away. He passed away on March 31st, and then we went to Lindsay's retreat on April 6th, April 7th?
April 9th to the 12th.
Or April 9th to the 12th. So
it was right before he was coming through to you, right? Like a couple days before the retreat?
No, in the retreat.
Oh, okay.
So the second day in the retreat, I was up at so it was after the second day of the retreat, I was up at 3 a.m. because I couldn't go to sleep. I was wired from the retreat. So I'm scrolling through social media, and all of a sudden I come across a Nipsey Hussle video. It was on a random page that just came across my page. And over the last week before that, I was seeing posts about him, like R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, and I seen different memes about him too, passing away. But at the time, I didn't know who he was. But anyway, so I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Tell them who he is, just so they know.
Oh,
too.
so Nipsey Hussle is a rapper that actually grew up in L.A. Right on Crenshaw. He actually had a store that he built. It's called Marathon Clothing, and he put that on Crenshaw, right in the neighborhood that he grew up, and becoming a big rapper and a big businessman, and really had a huge impact. As I started to connect to this man and feel his soul and spirit without even trying. So that's what started to happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. Bless you.
Thanks.
That's what started to happen at 3 o'clock in the morning, the second night of your retreat. And I seen his video. All of a sudden, I felt his spirit and everything inside of me, and I felt him. And I was looking through all this stuff, and I was just pouring crying. Like, all of these tears was coming down me. And it was like tears of every feeling that you could think of. Happiness,
and see,
all
I
of
just
that.
got a tapping. When you're talking about him, I'm getting tapping on my back.
Yeah, and I felt his soul, and I was like, man. And so I was up till probably another 2 hours straight looking at videos about him and just feeling his connection. And keep in mind, I was at a psychic medium retreat, and I was helping Lindsay run it, so I was very open, and there was a lot of energy moved, and nothing's a coincidence that this happened on this night. But anyways, this has began, it's continued to happen since then. I've been feeling his spirit, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, and I think the point of that is when you're open to receive these
Yeah.
messages from anyone, whether it's your own past loved ones or it's someone else's past loved ones, or you're wanting to be a better writer and you're connecting in with an author that's passed, I truly believe that yes, this happens, this can happen. And Nipsey is very pivotal because there was a shift. There's different shifts in everyone's life, but I know that there was a shift recently for the two of us, Tony and I. And I think that the shift had to take place for Tony in a separate way, and I kind of had a separate shift, but we kind of came together. I don't know how to describe it, but I felt like Nipsey was your person.
It was my
coming through.
person. So just to add more to that story, so it does make more sense. Like right at that time, so this retreat, Lindsay's retreat, created a huge shift of energy, and just the last day. So all the students left at 10 a.m. that day. So Lindsay and I, we went back to our hotel, our Airbnb that we were renting, and then after that, I was feeling like I needed to walk on the beach and just ground my energy and come back to earth. And so I did that. And as I was walking on the beach, I told Lindsay this story. I called her right after this happened, and I was just amazed. So I was walking on the beach for about 30 to 40 minutes, and these birds, so 5 birds, they were in front of me. And all of a sudden, I'm drawn to these birds, and I feel like an energy around me, and I feel my different past loved ones, and I feel other energy around me. So I'm walking on the beach, and these 5 birds are walking, and all of a sudden, I look up in the sky, and 4 birds fly over me. And then it connects in my head because I'm feeling the energy and I'm feeling all this around me. And so I'm paying attention, and I look back down, and there's 3 birds walking in front of me. So then we're walking a little bit more, and then I look back up because there's a few more birds flying over me, and there's 2 birds flying over me. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, and then I look back up, and there's a rainbow. So all of this is happening, and then once again, Nipsey comes through me again, and he starts giving me messages. And that day, it kind of sealed in, along with him connecting it at 3 o'clock in the morning. It sealed in the message like, hey, we're on this same mission together. Nipsey had a mission to impact inner city kids and kids that grew up in neighborhoods like him. And that's been part of my mission, part of Lindsay's mission. Lindsay worked in inner city schools. I worked in inner city schools.
And it's one of these things, like you listening to this, if you're highly sensitive and you're a medium listening to this, or you're just a person that's listening, you could probably feel the energy from what Tony's saying. But it's one of those things where when you're aware of these moments and these signs from anyone that has passed, it becomes almost like effortless, where you're not even thinking about things. You're hanging out, drinking coffee outside, and all of a sudden, boom, there's another sign. And you know when you feel it's them because you don't doubt it, because you just know in your heart. And that's how you knew. You felt the similar energy.
It's just, 100% no doubt. Like, I know Lindsay's here. It's just you know that much.
And lately, there's been different things that have been coming up to confirm. I don't know. I ended up getting pulled to a video that Ellen had up of this little boy. He was so cute. He was like a little rapper. And he was so proud of his rapping and his freestyling. And she says, well, who are the people that you really follow? And he's like, Nipsey Hussle. He's like, I went to his shop and I was freestyling for him, and he was talking about him. And this was actually before he died. So it was interesting that it somehow came up, for me to watch the other day. But I want to share a story too that's not connected to Nipsey, but there was this girl like Tony, I had never heard of before she passed away. And I'll call her a thought leader. Like, I don't know how else I could describe what she is, but she's a certain kind of coach. So after she died, her name was everywhere, all over the internet. So I was like, who is this girl? And I started to look up different things about her, and I figured out, like, wow, I wish she was here to teach me. Like, I need her right now. So I got kind of hooked into her Facebook page, her Instagram, and I was up late at night too. It was really weird. I felt very connected and drawn to her, to learn from her. And I'm like, why did she have to die? Like, how am I just finding her? And I've seen other people comment on her stuff and say, like, why did I find her now? And her mission was like about a movement, like a women's movement. So I went on one of her pages and I felt like she was coming through me and directing me to different things. But I wanted to kind of test this out because I didn't want to just say, oh, she's coming through to me. I wanted a confirmation because I never met this lady. So I saw one of her dresses on her Instagram. It sounds crazy. Like, yeah, I like your dress. So I'm like, oh, I really like your dress. And I was making conversation with her. And I said, where did you get it? Now, this girl at the time, like that I was on this page, that picture probably had like thousands of comments underneath it. So I heard her say clearly in my mind, Neiman's. Now, Neiman Marcus, like when you say it, I say the full name out. I don't call it Neiman's, but I heard her say Neiman's. And I'm like, now I need to figure out I need to search these comments and find out if this is really accurate because I'm hearing her voice. I went through each and every comment and someone said, where did you get this dress? And she said, Neiman's. And I just like get goosebumps even thinking about it now because she directs me and I hear her voice like, no, you need to do it like this. She's a very strong personality. And I've watched her videos after I found her, but that experience confirmed, there was a confirmation that came through with that. And it sounds so simple, but it's a feeling that you get. And the point of this whole conversation, it doesn't matter who they are, what matters is that you can connect with those that have passed. And if you need extra help or guidance in your life, use the experts, use the people that walk this earth that want to teach, because they still are teaching. And they're getting through to the humans that are still here so they can pass on their messages.
So that's exactly what they're doing. They're coming through to put their message because they passed away here physically. So, but that inner drive that they had when they were here, you still have that once you leave here. So they still have that and they're motivated, whether they're a celebrity or somebody like Lindsay's talking about who is on another scale, but you're still connecting in with these people because they're on the same mission and they're on the same frequency. And I feel like once you start to get your energy on different frequencies, like the radio stations, if you turn to different frequencies, you hear different radio stations. If you shift your energy to different frequencies, you start to shift the different energies that have walked this earth.
Right.
And different energies that are actually here too. I feel like we can connect in with people that are here too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about your experience connecting in with Mother Teresa? Or actually Mother Mary. Mother Mary.
No, I feel like Mother Mary, I felt connected to her since I was little because my aunt used to always talk about her. And my aunt went to church one day and there was a lady coming to the Mass that had seen visitations of the Blessed Mother. And the woman had said, you know, the Blessed Mother is going to come and, you know, different things like that. And my aunt knew when she was there, right in her row. She felt that presence in a certain way. And also she woke up in the middle of the night and saw a light and also smelt roses. So I had the belief that this was something that's doable, that you could connect to the Blessed Mother. And being Catholic, I prayed to the Blessed Mother all the time. I've always felt very connected to her. I used to say the rosary all the time when I was little, since I made my communion. So with the Blessed Mother, when I get Reiki, I'll see a vision of her, or I'll see she says something to me, or shows me a picture, and she communicates like when I connect in with past loved ones. And she'll tell me different things that I need to hear. So, and I've heard other people say they're not even Catholic and they connect in with her. So it's something to think about and to open up to. You know, if you feel like you didn't have a mother here on this earth, like really like a mother figure that was a good role model for you, which I have, but whether you have it or not, you can go to the Blessed Mother and she can give you that nurturing sense, you know, that you need. And same with Wayne Dyer. Like, I feel like he's another one that we talk to all the time.
We do, and that's more predictable. So like the Nipsey Hussle one with me was kind of unpredictable. I would have never predicted that happening. Yeah. Dr. Wayne Dyer, he likes to be called Wayne Dyer, he tells me, or Wayne. And he's more predictable because I actually came across him in 2015, or actually 2010,
Yeah, when
December,
we met.
when I first started talking to Lindsay. She introduced me to the book and movie The Shift.
So we were living separately.
Yes.
And I bought both of us The Shift, and we would read, like one chapter or two chapters, and then check in with each other and talk about it.
So the interesting thing is, I was introduced to The Shift. If you haven't read that book or saw that movie, I definitely would recommend that.
Definitely.
And it's ironic because that was at the time the biggest shift in my life, meeting you and being open to like a whole new world and all that, and confirming a lot of beliefs that I was already studying and aware of 2 years before that, like the law of attraction, law of vibration, how we're all connected. It confirmed it all to me in this whole package. So Wayne Dyer is very, very foundational in why I am who I am today, really. I mean, even though I've only met him once physically at what the I Can Do It tour in 2015, maybe?
I forget what year.
Or
it was 2011.
2011, actually. Yeah, he died in 2015.
November 2000.
But anyways, after all of that happened, and then obviously he passed away, I believe, in 2015. Right after he passed away, I mean, I could even feel his energy now as I'm speaking about him, as I'm bringing him into awareness. I started to feel this connection to him, and a lot of times early in the morning, and it's like he's just guiding me. It's like he has we have this mutual respect. It's like this dance, like it would be with any other friend. I feel very connected with him, and I feel like what's helped me spark that connection is I continued to study his books, and then I finally came across his book, I Can See Clearly Now, which is his memoir. So like there's a lot of great stories in there that he shares about the biggest shifts in his life. So about times when he connected and to St. Francis of Assisi, the times that he was like seeing spirit and doing the biggest things that woke him up. And the more that I read that book, the more that I realized how much like we were very similar in different ways. And then I started to tap into him even more. But anyways, long story short, I continue to feel very close and guided by Wayne Dyer till this day.
And
so
when he passed, I felt like it was like a family member that passed away.
Yes, me too.
It feels like our grandpa or something, or like like there is something about his presence. And
I feel like a lot of people felt that way because
definitely.
The way he just had that energy about him.
I've heard so many people say, I feel Wayne Dyer around.
Yes.
I feel like he's come through. So it really, his presence has been put on this earth, and his work is still around. But sometimes I'll even like say a little prayer to him, because I feel like him and Tony are so connected. I'm like, hey, put this bug in Tony's ear. Like I'll actually talk to him, and then all of a sudden it will come to fruition. I'm like, I told Wayne Dyer to come through to you and talk to you about this.
Right,
And
I'll
he's
bring
like,
it up to her too. I'm like, wait, you can't. I was like, you're not gonna believe it. I was riding my bike and Wayne
I'm
came
like,
through
I
very
just told
clearly.
him to go through to tell you this.
So it's funny.
So it's interesting because he, had a house in Maui, and we went to Maui, and we were hanging out on the beach that, he would walk on, and it was just, he was there. And, I've talked to his daughter and given her readings, actually both of his daughters and his assistant. And it's interesting because I almost feel like he brings people together, and he tries to connect everyone.
Absolutely.
It's like everyone's his child, like in a way. I'm not saying like his daughters, but I'm saying they're connected like family. He's trying to bring people together.
Right, and this is part of it too, us sharing our connection with him.
Yeah.
We're just sharing our story. And the whole point of this whole episode, like Lindsay keeps saying, is really so all of you just become aware that if this is happening to you, this is normal. Like this could be the new normal, and that's what Lindsay, one of her missions is, for this to be the new normal. And it's one of my missions too, because my mission is just to keep becoming more aware, helping people to keep growing and becoming more of themselves. And I feel like when we become more of ourselves, we start to do weird stuff like this. Like we start to tap into Wayne Dyer,
it's open-minded stuff.
It's open-minded stuff, but at one point in my life, it's stuff that I would have thought was weird. Like if you would have first told me, like, in high school, 9th and 10th grade, like, what? That's weird stuff. But, it's stuff that we're taught that it's weird. But in my opinion, it's just education. It's what the whole purpose of schooling should be.
Well, and we need to use the resources that are around us. Like, we need to use the spirit realm to help We need to be open-minded to know that there are constant signs, so we're not in the dark. Like, we're not walking through like a black alleyway. Like, we actually have these signs that are around us, and if we use them and use the spirit realm, whether they walk this earth or they're, you know, whatever you want to consider, like people that are guiding you, angels, like, use them to your advantage so that it's not so difficult and you could keep hope while you're going through life.
Right. And you just do it one day at a time, and you build those layers up, and eventually the layers are built so big that the momentum carries you. So
Right.
that's the space you want to get to where this is like an effortless, normal thing for you.
Yeah. I feel like I want to give them a little homework assignment that I'm thinking of. If there's something in your life that you're struggling with, or there's something that you want more assistance with, and you know of, I'm putting this in quotes, like an expert or someone that you really look up to that's already passed, maybe you've never met them before, open up to the possibility that you can conversate or to read more about them and see if you can feel the guidance from them to try it that way. Now, I know a lot of mediums are going to be like, no, you can't connect with someone that you don't meet. This is my belief because of my personal experience. And I used to sit back and kind of stay quiet about it. And now I'm like, no, this is what I believe, and this is what's happened to me. So use your own experiences to see what you believe in, but test it out.
And then another thing to go with that is to think about, when are the moments when I feel most connected to spirit? Mm-hmm. Go do that thing or that hobby when you feel most connected to spirit, because that'll help unlock all of this as well.
That's so true. Okay, guys, well, I hope this opened up your mind a little bit more to new things, and we hope you enjoy this episode. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did. If you liked it, leave a 5-star review on iTunes, and remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel too.
If you can think of anyone else that would love this episode, share it with them right now on social media or email. And remember, getting results is a process of learning, applying, and reflecting. Stay consistent and continue to grow every day.